Right, Rob, back for another day.
Yeah, man. Yesterday was awesome.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Sick. We want to go out today, but like, how do you decide where we're going to go?
Well, we've got multiple options to look at to make multiple plans for the day. So we could look at the good old guidebooks, like the Monroe one.
Excellent.
So you've got plenty of options for journeys and how to plan your day there as well.
Cool.
The beautiful thing about modern technology is that we've got websites that will help us add layers to these plans, like Walking Highlands, which is a really useful website that will cover lots of walks and will give you good detail as to how to help plan your journeys. And if you wanted to do a specific hill, whether it be a Monroe or a Corbett or something else, depending on what the weather is telling you, you can pick and choose a good walk that's going to tie in with a nice weather forecast as well. So this is what we can use to help plan our journeys. So you can sit down in the comfort of your own home with a cup of tea and plan your journey, or plan multiple journeys the night before, or even a few days before you go out. And you can tie this in really well with the forecast or a couple of forecasts. So we've got here our Mountain Weather Information Service.
This is what we used before?
Yeah, it is.
Right, okay.
There's a slightly different forecast for the day. So we can see here it's saying 20 to 30 miles an hour. So it's a little bit less than the other time.
Yeah.
Southwesterly, so the wind has actually changed direction. But it's saying it's gusting 35 and increasing 30 to 40. Gusting 50 by the afternoon.
Ooh, 50 mile an hour is strong.
Yeah, so it's definitely a lot windier than yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so it might be a case that
we stay at home with a cup of tea?
Yeah, maybe stay home with a cup of tea. Or we maybe think about starting our journey earlier.
Okay.
So start early.
To avoid the bad stuff.
Just to avoid the bad stuff.
Okay.
And maybe with this, maybe not being too ambitious.
Right.
Maybe have another short day. We want to get out on the hill, it'd be nice too, but we don't want to get caught out.
So we're still not going to get onto Ben McDooey?
Probably not, no.
One day?
Yeah, one day. It's picking a nice weather forecast to have success for that day. But let's not be too ambitious.
This isn't it?
No, definitely not.
It.
Definitely
cool.
not, okay. So we can see with this if there's any discrepancy or similarities with another forecast. Here we can look at the Met Office. They're very good at giving mountain-specific forecasts as well.
Right, okay,
and they can break it down hour by hour.
That's really handy.
As well, so it can help with you planning your day as well. So you can tie them both together really well. Okay, so it's really useful to have multiple forecasts.
So you're not just going off the one?
No, I'm not going off one. I want to see and gather as much information as I can to paint a picture as to how positive or negative it's going to be, and then I can think about whether or not I actually do want to go out into the mountains. Okay, so be Sherlock Holmes, be a detective, get all that information.
Get my pipe out, get my tweed hat.
Yeah, definitely, that's
go out in the hills.
And go out in the hills. Yeah, we can now relate all that to the map that we have.
Going back to the map.
Yeah, going back to the map.
Is your eyesight going on me? Have you blown this up bigger so you can see it, read it better?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. My eyesight is going, but having a blown up map like this one here that you can get from OS Maps, you can download the software and print off maps on a bigger scale.
Right. Okay.
Makes it much easier to see, especially in these windy weather conditions and in winter. And we can see here that it's not just a bit of paper, it's actually in a map case.
Right.
So we're protecting it, keeping it waterproof as well.
Because it is going to be really wet.
It's going to be wet, frequent snow showers, yeah. And the good thing about map cases with the compass is they stick to it like glue, so it's much easier to use your compass. Okay, so we've kind of looked at the forecast with the weather and the conditions. We need to kind of look at the underfoot conditions with the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can you remember where we look for on that? The Scottish Avalanche Information Service.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
So imagine this as a mountain. Yeah, it's a 3D image. So there's your mountain there.
Oh, so that's like looking down on here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is telling us that this is a mountain of the highest region that we're in. We're in the Cairngorms.
So that's Ben McDooey.
So that's Ben McDooey, yeah.
So I've got my miniature Ben McDooey
You've got
here.
your miniature Ben McDooey. Our winds were coming from the southwest. So this is south, coming across. And all that wind is going to be blowing that snow, as we can see in the diagram here, on north through to easterly aspects of your mountain.
Okay, so all the wind's blowing the snow onto this side.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And we can see that we've got different altitudes here. So we've got green, which is kind of a low risk.
Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that avalanches won't happen. It's still a low risk.
Right. So this is like the safer side.
The potential safer side, because
Okay.
all the wind has been picking that snow up and putting it on the other side. Yellow is our moderate, okay, and then our orange is considerable. So that's a big red flag that we want to like. Whoa, that's kind of crazy.
Okay. Why is that such a big red flag?
The reason being that, you know, there's a higher chance, like I said when we were out, you know, if you stepped outside the other day, there's a considerable chance of getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
You know, you're probably going to get that regardless. So if we go out in the mountains and go around these north to easterly aspects, there's a considerable chance, or a likely chance, that we will set off an avalanche.
Right, okay.
And we don't want that to happen. So we need to plan a journey that's low risk, that's safe for us, and avoids these moderate to considerable areas.
Right.
Because
So we don't want to be walking up that northeast side of the hill.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially in these kind of areas here that's above 1,000 meters.
Okay.
So it's being very careful as to how we tread. Because most of the time, avalanches occur and people have set off their own avalanches in these considerable risk areas.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't want to be a statistic. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we want to play it safe.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we can now relate all this information that we've collected onto the map and think about where would be our safe travel for our journey. And I think it would be a good idea to have that wind in our back again. So
Yeah, don't want to walk into
No, certainly not.
50 mile an hour.
No, so I think we could start from the car park. So our safe travel area up this ridge, okay, being mindful of those southwesterly winds can create a little bit of a cornice here in these steeper areas.
So we avoided the cornices yesterday.
Yeah. So
we
wanna,
can get them on that steep ground there as well.
Yeah, you can do. So we want to just be mindful of that and stay on these ridge lines and avoid that. And then we can get to this point with the wind in our back up on the Cairngorm, and we can see coming down here that these contours are very shallow, so they're not 30-degree slopes at all there. So it's a safe way back down off Windy Ridge.
Okay.
Back down to the car, and that's a nice short journey, getting a Munro in, and we're avoiding those strong winds and gusts that are increasing in the afternoon by starting that a little bit earlier.
And because this isn't so steep, it's not avalanche potential. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's a shallower angle. Yeah, it's not getting onto that 30-degree slope.
Right, okay, cool. Man, like, I want to be able to do this stuff myself, but like, how do I learn all this? How did you learn all this?
Well, a really good place to actually start is Mountaineering Scotland.
Okay.
They provide training courses, one-day navigation courses to mountain skills, weekends as well. We can, cover all these aspects and get you to a place where you can become self-sufficient and confident in your own abilities to actually do this yourself and plan and have successful, safe journeys out in the mountains.
Nice. Okay, I'll check it out.
Awesome. Cool.
Should we go out in the hill now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Right, I'm going to text my partner the plan first.
Brilliant. Good idea.